You remember when I told you we had that storm a while back, and I had a 25-year-old dead tree that was still standing? Well, a couple days after that, I finally got it cut up. I was going to have like a bonfire, but it was so hot and humid. I was like, you know what, I'll take care of this later. But as I show you this dead tree and what I've done, I'm gonna walk into Door 3 and have a conversation, talk to you about a conversation that I had with a couple of friends of mine. So, one of them, and I think I'm safe calling his name is Eddie, good guy, damn good guy. We was talking about politics and stuff, and I told him for the past 5-6 years, man, I've been on another thing when it comes to our history and celebrities and that type of thing. But before I continue, let me tell you this: the reason this summit was still standing, even though the outside looked like termites holding hands, this core solid as a rock. So that's why I was still standing. And I guess where it finally broke there was its weakest point. So let me continue with my commentary. So he talked about that famous scientist guy. I don't know the guy's name. He's confined to a wheelchair, can't use his arms, legs, can't even talk. I think he talks through some type of computer or machine. And he's like, how's this guy one of the leading minds on planet Earth? He can't talk, can't walk, can't use his arms. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely correct, dude. And I said, I'm gonna go a step further. Helen Keller, one of the most famous people, especially in the blind and deaf community. She couldn't see or hear. They said she was one of the most racist individuals to ever live on the planet. She's never seen color. She's never heard a black person, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, nobody else talk. So how could she be racist? And that's the rest of that tree. More likely, I'm just gonna light this up and let it burn. But my point to that is, with the Helen Keller and the scientist guy, history, the way it has been told to us and the way it has been explained to us, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard for me to believe. It's hard for me to believe. You take the Martin Luther King situation. You got some black people that will fight you, kill you, if you say anything negative about Martin Luther King. But look at the facts. Look at what I've just learned for the past 3 years. But the history, the truth has been there. They just didn't allow it to get out. They suppressed the truth. And the reason the Martin Luther King thing is so, I guess, crazy right now, as of today, because I think one of his lawyers or attorneys passed away a day or two ago or last week. So he's been hailed as one of the greatest men to ever walk the planet. And it's just not so. Go back and listen to some old tapes of the people who was telling the truth back in the day that they tried their best to suppress. And you'll find out the truth. Now, when it comes to Helen Keller and the scientist guy, I'm not really sure if there's anything out there that explains the truth, tells the truth. I'm really not. But I know this. I'm not stupid. You can't tell me an individual who is deaf and blind could be a racist. It's just not possible. As kids, no matter what color, what diverse community that you come from, if you put 5 to 10 kids in a room together, they're going to play, get along, tussle, because they don't know no better. But as they grow up, they learn the negatives of life and what people say negatively about somebody else. And that's how they become bigoted, prejudiced, racist, or whatever the case may be. Because they can see and they can hear. An individual who can't see, can't hear, I'm sorry, you just can't be racist. Listen, I don't know much. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm not the brightest guy in the room. But I do know this. History, you have to study it. You can't study the good part of history, just can't study the bad part of history. You have to study all of history. And once you put it together, once you do a thorough investigation, you'll find the truth. And that's what I've done for the past 5 to 6 years, 3 to 4 years. And a lot has been revealed to me that, dude, we have been bamboozled, hoodwinked. One of the most famous sayings from a civil rights leader, Malcolm X, was the most dangerous entity was the white liberal. I didn't hear that until I was in my late 40s. I did not hear that until I was in my late 40s. That should have been taught in elementary school, in high school, and definitely in college. But they wanted to keep that suppressed. And that's the reason. I encourage everybody to re-examine history, to study it, investigate it with all channels, and come to a conclusion. But anyway, just wanted to show you that old dead tree that I chopped up, cut up, gonna be burnt up. Gotta go ahead and prepare some chicken for my wife. So, it is what it is. You guys stay blessed. I love you and I appreciate you. And as always, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you guys stay blessed. I'll see you next time.